Today I'm basically going to be sharing what I believe is the best way to start Summoners War. As when you tend to open up a new game or to start a new game, you're like, what am I supposed to be doing or what am I supposed to be focusing on? Those are normally the first questions you do ask. And today I'm going to be sharing what I believe is one of the best ways to start this game. And when you start, you're going to, of course, get the loading screen and everything, go through all the dialogues. Finish all that, then you're going to be introduced to the scenario mode. Now, the reason why scenario is important is because you do get a lot of free things here. It includes scrolls, summons, all sort of things. From normal mode, you get like the first legendary scroll, elite scroll, all the good stuff. In hell mode, you get additional runes, mostly legendary runes. Well, the reason why I've mentioned this is because it does eliminate the need to farm Carious dungeons. Now, what are Carious dungeons? Carious dungeons are basically instances where you can farm for specific rewards, such as like rune sets or some other things that we call what are these things called? Artifacts, right? And also where you can get essences to awaken your monsters. But mostly the reason why I mention this is because in Carious dungeons you're always, told or prompted to get your Giants team running. Now, of course, yes, this is important, but you don't have to start Giants from the get-go because it does take some time, and the game is pretty helpful to new players, as you do get runes from Carious dungeons. You also get runes from the Summoners Way. The events from this lady right here, as she gives you different. I collected all of mine, but she does gives you like some rune sets, and they're all plus 15, so they're all helpful. I mean, they are rare, but it does still help. That being said, the thing that you should be focusing on after you finish, of course, your scenario, because you're going to have to finish this one to get access to what I'm about to say next, and that is Trial of Ascension. Now, the reason why Trial of Ascension should be your top priority, as it does give you access to a lot of crystals, angel ones. Those things are very important, as you won't necessarily have a lot of monsters to use as materials to evolve your monsters, so you're going to need to complete Trial of Ascension, and you can do that by just using the runes the game gives you. And you might be wondering what comes after Trial of Ascension. Well, believe it or not, you still don't have to touch Carious dungeon, to be honest. You can do it just so that you get like the rewards from Summoners Way. I completed my novice intermediate mostly just for the Transcendence scroll, but there are challenges for dragons and giants in every other dungeons in the game. I did do the one for giants because I did need that swift rune, as I wanted to focus on arena. But after Trial of Ascension, then of course the next step is to get a few two-way monsters. One of them obviously being Crow, and the other one is the fire version for this guy. I didn't get the fire one because I prompted into another way of getting things done, which was to just use Shaman. This is also another one you can get, but you're probably gonna have to wait until it's the Light Essence Day to hope that someone, the secret dungeon is available. There is none here, but you can check. Of course, after you completed the Trial of Ascension and get all the goodies from there, then I believe the next thing you should focus on is, Rift of Worlds. Now, the reason why I mention this is because, believe it or not, Rift of Worlds is where majority of your progression is going to come from, because that's where you're going to get your grinds and gems for the runes that you currently have. Now, yes, some of the runes that you get for free as being a new player aren't going to be the best, but they are still your best runes. And I believe that if you do Rift of Worlds, and get access to raids, which of course the only way to get access to raid is by getting C ranking in all of them, right? Yeah, C ranking or higher in all range. Now they aren't necessarily difficult to get, as Lapis pretty much solos Fire Beast. The others are gonna be tricky, especially the Wind Beast, but you can get it done. For the monsters that you pretty much use in TOA, it's not really difficult to get C rank. And then after that, you can use them on any rune that you have. I mean, I did some farming, so I have like some pretty average, so pretty average runes. These are of course the free ones, but this is just to show that, you know, they are usable. Then you may be wondering, so let's say I do TOA and I do Rift of Worlds. What's next? Well, that's where you can do Kairos Dungeon. To be fair, you really should be doing Kairos Dungeon. It's just that you don't have to use all your time spent on just farming runes from the get-go. You are going to have to farm runes to, of course, ruin all the monsters that you have, but the game does give you a good amount of runes from the start. So I believe just doing the scenario and the Trial of Ascension would be enough to get your account going. Then after Rift of Worlds, you can do Kairos, or you can just focus on Arena, like what I'm doing. But the reason why I mentioned Arena is because that's how you're gonna get the points to buy your Devilmons, and Devilmons are gonna be used to unlock the skills for whatever Nat 5 you did get from your Transcendence Scroll. Because you're gonna get a Transcendence Scroll after completing Trial of Ascension. So hopefully it is a good unit. Units that I think would be really good for you are like Tiana, Zaros, Leo. I mean, Leo specifically for PvP, but the other two mostly for Arena. You're gonna hopefully get an Arena monster, because Arena is gonna be like where your next chunk of rewards are gonna come from. You know, if there aren't any events going, of course. So yeah, I think that should be the focus when you just start Summoner's War. It should be, as I keep repeating myself, but I can't stress this enough. Simply because of how much time you can spend just by doing Kairos dungeons unnecessarily, and that could slow down your progression a lot. You know, because you'd just be there farming, going through the auto run times 30, and then you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So just like a backbone of like what you can do is just focus on those three in that order: Trial of Ascension, Scenario, Trial of Ascension, then Rift of Worlds. Alright, so if you did find this video useful, you know, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.